Hello y'all, and welcome to YoungFolkKnits. My name is Kaci, and on this channel I share all about my love of fiber arts. Knitting, spinning, sewing, crochet, whatever we might be up to at the moment. I also occasionally share about living on a small farm here in Arkansas. So if any of that sounds like your cup of tea, make sure and hit the subscribe button so you won't miss out on any future video content. Today I have a little bit of a shorter episode because I have really been thinking about the end of the year. I can't believe that December is halfway over. 2024 is almost finished. I was thinking about what I've accomplished this year. I was looking through my maker's notebook because I was making some notes for my what I made in 2024 video. And I realized that there's so many things I started and I have not finished, and I thought for sure I would have finished them by the end of 2024. And here it is, almost January. And to be honest, that doesn't usually bother me, but for some reason this year, this month, it really is. So I have decided to take each week and make some goals. I've been doing that for most of December. And this week I have a few very specific goals of things I want to finish. So I do have a lot of projects, and the truth is I just can't work on all of them if I want to make a lot of progress. So for this week I've chosen a few things that I think I can accomplish. First of all is that I want to finish my mittens. So I recently cast on the Alma Mittens. And this is a pattern using, I want to say, worsted weight yarn. I used worsted weight yarn. And it's an all over color work mitten pattern. Very classic Scandinavian style mittens. And these have a really beautiful flower motif. I think I first saw these on Ravelry, and then I saw Florence from Handmade by Florence make them, and that sort of cinched the deal because they looked so beautiful when they were finished. And so I cast them on using Purl Soho's new daily wool. It's extremely soft, it's extremely bouncy. I'm not sure that it's the smartest mitten choice or accessories choice because the extremely soft quality of this yarn is going to lend itself to pilling and showing wear, and accessories 100% take a lot of wear. So I may have not made the smartest decision, but it's so soft. Let me show you how the inside looks. The inside is just this incredible layer of super soft silky yarn. It feels so good on the hands. So I can't regret my decision too much. I really like them. I cast on a second mitten and I'm halfway through. I actually just, bound off the thumb gusset. So I need to finish that. I think that's 100% a doable goal that I can reach in one evening. So I want to finish my second mitten. Next up is my Lumme Pullover. So I had a goal of really working hard on my poly cardigan, and I realized I completely finished the raglan and I was ready to start the button band, and I realized I had made a mistake. And I had done it right after my grandma passed away. I obviously was, mentally a little spacey. And I'm the type that those mistakes really bother me if it's a big deal. And it was enough of a big deal that there were 10 more stitches in one sleeve than there was in the other. And at a worsted weight gauge, that's a lot of stitches. So instead of just decreasing them out, I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted it to be a good fit. I ripped that back out all the way to the sleeve joining, and my problem was I hadn't bound off enough stitches at the underarm of one of the sleeves. I just didn't even do it. So I bound those off, and then I rejoined the sleeves to the body of the sweater, and now it's just sitting there and I need to get back to where I was. But I decided to put it down and let myself have a different project this week. And the project I chose was my Lumme Pullover. I am making this colorwork sweater by Sari Nordlund. It's beautiful all over colorwork circular yoke. And I am using the Isire Alpaca 3, which is a chainette yarn, and it is a blend of alpaca and wool. It has a really lovely lofty chainette design or I-cord design, so that it's just full of air. It's so fluffy, and the alpaca has so much halo to it. But I'm not sure how much I really like this yarn, because I don't know, it just doesn't feel like a wool hand knit sweater to me. It almost feels like a plushy chenille type sweater that I might buy from Old Navy, and it's not. I've spent a lot of time hand knitting this, and it's natural fibers, and it's a lovely, nice quality yarn, but it just doesn't really give me that hand knit feel, and I love a bit of a rustic hand knit feel to my sweaters. Also, my needles keep getting caught in the I-cord structure of this yarn, and that's a little bit frustrating. And whenever I bind anything off, my needle constantly splits the yarn trying to do a tubular bind off. So those are some frustrating aspects that make me question whether I would use this yarn again. It would have to be for the right project. I think a hat would be really lovely in this yarn, or a sweater that you specifically want that feel to. I think this, I don't know, I'm not sure. I need to wait till I completely finish it and then make a decision, but that's my goal. I want to finish this. I need to knit both of my sleeves and knit the body of this sweater and get it ready to wear before the end of the year. The last project I want to share with you is a spinning project and a knitting project. So I have been using my Handspun and some, oops, I dropped some stitches here. Of course, I'm in the middle of a row. So I have been using my Handspun to knit on this really lovely shawl, which is the Mockingbird shawl, and it has not been released yet. This was actually a test knit, and I am spinning the fiber for this using the Ozark Dreaming colorway by Primrose Yarn Co. I actually ran out of spun fiber, so I needed to spin up one last braid so that I could join that in and finish this beautiful squishy shawl up. And so my goal for this week is to completely spin and ply my last braid of the Ozark Dreaming colorway. I'm really excited to be partnering this year with Daedalus Spinning Wheels. So they did send this to me, and it is the new Starling model, which I think was released a year or two ago. This is the version 3, and I have to tell y'all that I'm actually very obsessed with this. So I got to choose a color, and I chose the cranberry color, which I think is very me. I love everything about this so far. Now, I've only been using this for about a month, so I am going to use it a little bit more. I really want to give some accurate and honest opinions on this, but so far I will say that of my 3 electric spinners, this is by far my favorite. It's just a really, really quality spinner. I feel like breaking things down into smaller, manageable goals is what will make them more achievable and more realistic for me. I'm also trying really hard to get outside and take my daily walk. I walk down to our pond, and it brings me a lot of peace, and I really enjoy the quiet. I take my knitting, and sometimes I knit, sometimes I just walk, but I really like having it. Sometimes I sit down at the pond and knit for a minute while I'm there, and it's lovely. We've actually had some geese that come, and they come every year. They stay overnight at the pond, and it makes my heart so happy. I don't know what it is about geese, but I love them so much. I wish that we had some. And speaking of geese, I don't know if y'all have seen The Wild Robot, but I recommend it for sure. So I had my oldest read the books, and then we went and watched the movie, and I did end up buying the movie for my kids. I think it is so cute. It actually made me cry. I laugh with my mom because I Used to be somewhat emotional, but I feel often like ice now runs in my veins. But I actually cried probably 3 times during that movie. So if you've seen it, let me know what you think. If you haven't seen it, I think it's worth watching. It's really, really cute. All right, I need to get working this week and hopefully accomplish some of my goals. All right, I finished my mittens and I've got my second mitten blocking. It was a little bit bigger than the first one, and I was really trying to do that pat and smush method and hopefully it'll dry a little bit smaller than whenever I laid it down on the blocking mat. I also put my needles back on and I'm now working on the body of my Lumme Pullover. And I just took a shower. I've got wet hair. I'm actually gonna go and get my hair cut today. So I use very specific shampoo and conditioner. I don't use anything that has silicones in it or certain products that I don't like in my hair. And so I always wash my hair before I go, and I use this really expensive shampoo and conditioner. It's $1. It's $1. It's the Suave Essentials Daily Clarifying Shampoo and the conditioner as well. And I just went ahead and did that. So I'm about to head off to get my hair cut. We'll see if I come back with bangs. I'm very tempted by bangs. I'm always tempted by bangs. we will see what I come home with. So strong and I did not get bangs, but I'm so proud. Before I go, I do want to share what I'm wearing. So this week, the Ginko Pinafore was released, and I did test sew this for Madswick Designs, and that was in collaboration with the Linen Lab. So I did receive this linen fabric for the test, and I got to choose which fabric I used, and I love it so much. So I chose this red and brown and blue and umber colored plaid, and it's just so good. It's very classic and I really like it. I would say that this is just an extremely versatile piece. I think that you can do so much with the fit because it ties in the front and in the back, so it's a wrap design. I tie everything in the back so that there's no bulk in the front at my belly. I don't like that. And I think it's just extremely versatile. One thing I will say is that I feel like I could have really benefited from a full bust adjustment, and I might go back and add that later. I thought it would have worked out well enough because I thought I could just tie it and that would take care of it, but it was not the case, and it doesn't bother me enough that I don't wear it. I've worn it a few days already, but I think that I might go back in and do that at some point. If I make another one, I will definitely do that. It comes with both a V-neck or a square neck option, and you could do a V-neck on one side and a square neck on the back, and then you can turn it around and wear either one. I did decide to do the V-neck on both the front and the back, and then my next one I'm going to do with a square neck on one side and a V-neck on the other side. And yes, I do plan on making another one. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoy videos like this, make sure and give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on any future video content. I'd love to hear what you're working on, and do you have a project that you really want to finish up before the end of the year? If you do, let me know in the comments. And until next time, happy knitting, y'all.